begin. For now, though, the class of 2020 will soon know how they fared when Basic Education Minister Angie Motshekga reveals the results tomorrow evening. Last year's matric class was the first to contend with the COVID-19 pandemic, but stakeholders believe they will do well. Now, to discuss this further, we're joined on the line by the Department of Basic Education spokesperson Elijah Mhlanga. He joins us via Skype. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making the time. Matriculants last year wrote their exams under difficult circumstances. How confident are you ahead of the results announcements tomorrow?
Good morning, Desiree. Well, for us, the fact that we're able to conduct the examinations and finish them and go to marking and finish that to the extent that we are now ready for the minister to announce, it's a major achievement. We're just focusing on creating a conducive, safe environment for learners to be able to write. And we applaud them for the courage. We also applaud the invigilators, their teachers. We also applaud the markers for the courage, because a lot of them withdrew, others tested positive for COVID-19, and were still able to get through all the work that needed to be done. As for the performance of the class of 2020, whatever the outcome is, everybody knows that they worked under extremely difficult conditions.
Yeah. Just talking about all the work that needed to be done, just in preparation for tomorrow, all the checks have been done. The minister is raring to go. What can we expect?
Well, we expect the minister to outline first the challenges that we faced as a country last year and how this impacted the class of 2020, but also talk about the learner support programs for grade 12 children that the department put in place. As we touch on that, but also, just the overall performance of the sector, so that we create a context for the performance of the class of 2020. It's very important that we keep reminding ourselves of extremely difficult conditions and complex conditions which they worked under. Remember, we were forced to close schools, and they lost 47 days. They revised the school calendar. They were able to come back to school, and they went back to school first and checked. They were able to complete the curriculum. But of course, provinces put in place a lot of measures to taking learners to camps and making sure that they get enough support at any time. All of those things will be reflected by the minister, so that when she announces performance, everybody remembers and knows exactly the type of things that they would have gone through, in particular as learners, with the anxiety and fear that was there. So just as a sector, how it would have performed to assist those that are in the 2020 academic year.
One of the new normals that came with 2020 was that most public announcements were done virtually. Do we know how tomorrow's address is going to be conducted? Is it going to be from a venue as usual? And will all the education MECs still be joining the minister in one venue, or will they be separated?
Well, no. The SABC will play a big part in making sure that South Africans get to hear what the minister is going to say. The SABC know already where the venue is going to be. The MECs and top achieving candidates will be in their different provinces. The minister, with a small group of people, will be in a venue in Gauteng, and there will be a broadcast to all those sites. That's the arrangement for this year, because we need to continue to adhere to the health and safety protocol. So it's going to be something new that we have not seen before, and we hope that is going to work for everyone. Provinces are prepared because they have the top achieving candidates with them in the provinces. So all arrangements are being made across the country for a simultaneous activity that will indeed be celebrating and recognizing the work that would have been done by the class of 2020, those being the learners themselves, but also the teachers and all stakeholders in the sector, because it was an extraordinary year, and the partnerships that emerged there and those that continue emerged as a result of the crisis that we face, and we hope that will continue to be the same. So as we look at the results, let's look at the results with everything else that took place there, and then understand how we need to continue to work together as a sector.
With all things considered, there's an expectation that there might be a dip in the result tomorrow as compared to previous years. Are you able to give us some sense as to what direction the expected results are taking? Is it going lower, or is there an improvement?
Many companies have shut down. People have been retrenched. Unemployment has increased as a direct result of COVID-19. It would be inconceivable for us to expect a sharp rise in the results when we know that the situation was extraordinary. So we need to listen carefully to what the minister is going to say. She will unveil exactly what the learners have been able to achieve under these complex conditions. That is for her to do. What I can tell you is that it was very difficult. You know that a lot of teachers that were in the system were not able to, in fact, are not able to come back this year because they passed away, others tested positive. It was extremely difficult. So whether there's a dip or whether there's an increase, we need to just remember how we got to be here. There was a large noise last year, people saying we should just forget about the school year. We need to remember that we worked against all that noise, and we consider the fears and anxiety of people. We had to make sure that the school year is completed. We did that. So when the minister talks about the performance of the class of 2020, whether the results are up or down, we just need to remember that we worked under extremely difficult conditions. There were disagreements, many debates, many meetings, and a lot of tension and conflict, all of which enabled the system to be able to prepare for the final grade 12 exams of the class of 2020, to be able to write and be here today. So it's a relief to a lot of them. Let's see what the minister will say, and then we'll take it from there.
Just in terms of the matriculants who are waiting to see their results, just give us details in terms of how they can access their details, and perhaps give us the details of that address by that minister, the time, and how people can access that address over and above watching it on the SABC.
Well, the results will be available on the department's platforms, all of them, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, but will also be available on all SABC platforms to watch. The SABC has also entered into a partnership with the Department of Basic Education to make results available to learners via that USSD number, which is available on the SABC website, and is also available on other platforms where you can register and access your results without having to rush to the school. But of course, the next day on the 23rd in the morning, you're expected to go collect your statement. But it would help if you were to access it electronically so that it reduces the tension and the anxiety. But the minister will make the announcement at 4 p.m. tomorrow in the afternoon. And she will basically be talking about the performance nationally as well as the provincial performance of provinces and districts. And then, of course, celebrating the top achieving candidates from the class of 2020.
The other big conversation about matric results, of course, is the matriculants who have not made it, and a provision for them in terms of mental health checks and assistance. What has the department got in store in this regard?
We have partnerships with different organizations that play a role in making sure that our learners are supported, and they are on board once again this year. And the numbers we've made available in case there's anxiety or mental health challenges that some of them might be facing. And we will make sure that we will support them. But the most important thing is to go check your results first. Check your results. We have already published the deadline, the closing date for registration if you want to rewrite, and that is the 26th of March. So you can already use that information to prepare. When your results tell you something that you did not expect and you did not succeed in the way that you wanted, or you did not succeed at all, make sure that you register immediately. The department will be able to assist you. In fact, you can register online as well, but you can also go to the district office. But we prefer that you register online so that we reduce the physical contact with people at the district office. It's easy, it's efficient. It will help you to stand in line to write the exam again in May and June when others sit to rewrite or even to upgrade their results. So that opportunity is available. We call it a second chance in the sector. So please make sure that you use it. is there for everyone. Whether you pass, you want to upgrade, is available for you. And in fact, you can write any number of subjects. Even if you failed 1 or 2, you could then rewrite the entire exam if you so wish.
Well, thank you so much for setting the stage for us, setting the scene for us. But just before I let you go, this week the department officially operationalized your new calendar for schools for this year. Just give us a sense of how that went. Were there any glitches?
No, there were not glitches. In fact, things have been going well in schools because it's not the first time that we are working under COVID-19 conditions. Schools were already aware of the protocols that needed to be implemented. Some wanted to see the calendar, what has been revised. We have made that available. We were delayed by 2 weeks. We lost 13 days, recovered 10. We're losing 3 now, but we know that schools will work very hard to recover the 3 days through the interventions that they put in place last year. But we continue with the rotational system. All that we need is for vigilance when it comes to the adherence to the health and safety protocol so that we keep everyone alive. We get on with the business of education while people are safe, because that's very important. We are saying safety first. Make sure that all the people are keeping safe distance, social distancing. People are sanitizing, washing hands, and making sure that compliance is paramount across all our schools and at every instance. Everyone must play their part. Because of that emphasis on safety, we have seen schools opening smoothly. Remember, we staggered them. The school management teams went back first on the 25th of January, and the teachers went back on the 1st of February, and then the learners followed on the 15th of February. So that has helped in terms of every group going back, preparing for the next. So we are happy so far. We hope to see an improvement in those areas where there are still challenges, because we know also that the weather caused some damage in the Northern Cape as well as Northwest provinces, but that is being attended to.
We were reporting on a school in KwaZulu-Natal where learning had to be halted due to concerns about overcrowding. Is this an issue that's recurring in terms of conversations about COVID-19 protocols and the return to schooling?
Well, I would need details on that, but the protocols are very clear that no school should be operating at full capacity, especially if you do not have the resources to do so. And if you want to do that, then you have to apply to the head of education in the province to grant you permission. But before that permission is granted, an inspection would have to be conducted. So overcrowding should not be an issue, because at any given time, the school should be at 50% capacity. And the rotational approach as well is being utilized. So any overcrowding challenges that would have been there before, they would have to be dealt with in terms of that rotation so that everyone is kept safe. So insofar as that particular school is concerned, we need more details, but I hope that the province, the MEC, the HOD in the province are attending to that matter to make sure that no learner is left behind because of challenges that can be resolved.
Elijah Mhlanga, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
He's the national spokesperson of the Department of Basic Education, as the whole nation awaits that announcement tomorrow of the matric results, the matric year, the matric class of 2020. Quite a difficult year it was for them. Now,